All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about a feeling that I bet almost everyone listening has felt, but maybe you just don't have a name for it. It's that feeling of always pushing, always needing the next thing, but never ever feeling like you've actually arrived. This is all about the hedonic trap, and we're going to explore why it feels like more is never quite enough.
So, does this hit close to home? You know that feeling, right? Like you're on a treadmill, you're running, you're sweating, you're putting in all this effort, but you look around and you haven't actually gone anywhere. This isn't just about the gym. It's a deep psychological state that, honestly, kind of defines what it's like to be alive for a lot of us right now.
So, what's really going on here? Well, there's been this huge shift in what we even want out of life. It used to be that we just wanted things to be better. A better car, a better house. But now, the magic word isn't better anymore. It's unlimited. Unlimited streaming, unlimited data, and, as we're about to see, an unlimited expectation for our own happiness. We've literally gone from wanting improvement to demanding infinity.
Now, this craving for unlimited doesn't just hang in the air. It shows up in our lives in three really specific, all-consuming ways. Think of these as the main symptoms of this modern exhaustion, the three big quests we're all on to chase that impossible ideal.
First up is the one we all know well, the material quest. This is our search for infinite access to, well, everything. We want endless libraries of movies, bottomless data plans, and 2-day shipping on anything we can imagine. The very idea of a limit, of being told, no, you can't have that right now, it feels like a personal insult, a bug in the system. We've just accepted that we should have access to everything all at once. And here's the science behind why that quest feels so addictive. It's all about something called the dopamine reward loop. Think about it. Every time you buy something new or binge another season of a show, you get this little jolt of pleasure, right? A dopamine hit. But, and this is the crucial part, it fades super fast, and your brain's happiness level just goes right back to where it started. So what do? You need another hit, and then another one, just to feel okay. We're basically confusing these tiny, fleeting bursts of novelty with real, lasting happiness.
Okay, on to the second quest. And honestly, this one can be even more draining. It's the emotional quest. This is this quiet, internal demand that we should feel happy, fulfilled, and totally engaged all the time. We've started treating normal human emotions like boredom or contentment as problems that need to be fixed instead of just parts of life. It's a relentless pursuit of nonstop joy. So what's fueling this impossible emotional standard? Well, it has a name: upward social comparison. And social media is the perfect engine for it. We just scroll and scroll through perfectly filtered vacations, shiny career announcements, and flawless-looking families. And with every scroll, we are measuring our own messy, complicated real lives against someone else's highlight reel. It is a game that is literally impossible to win. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's not something we even decide to do. It just happens. You see a friend's amazing trip, and suddenly your own weekend plans feel kinda lame. You see an engagement announcement and feel a little pang of something. It creates this constant gap between your reality and a fantasy, and we're left feeling like we're always falling short. And that leads us perfectly into our third and final quest, the significance quest. This is our ego's version of an unlimited plan. It's that deep, nagging feeling that we need to be important, to be seen as valuable, to be validated constantly. It's this belief that if you're not climbing, you must be falling. The real danger of this quest is what it does to our sense of self. It creates what psychologists call an external locus of control. It just means we start to believe our worth isn't something we have, but something we get from the outside world. Our value gets tied to things like a promotion or how many likes a photo gets. And since all that stuff is totally unpredictable, our own sense of self becomes incredibly fragile. So, we've looked at the symptoms, right? These three big quests for unlimited stuff, unlimited feelings, and unlimited importance. Now it's time to pull it all together. It's time for the diagnosis, to finally put a name to this exhaustion we all feel. We've seen the running, the chasing, the looking outside of ourselves for answers. But what is this thing? This endless, exhausting cycle that seems to have so many of us in its grip? What is this trap? Here it is, the name for this trap. It's called the hedonic treadmill. And this is the absolute core of what we're talking about. It's just a built-in part of being human.
You finally get that promotion you've been killing yourself for. And for a few days, maybe a week, you're on top of the world. But then it just becomes your new normal. That amazing feeling, gone. Your happiness just resets. And so you start running again, looking for the next thing.
And this cycle is so simple, it's almost brilliant. It's a 4-step loop that just feeds itself. 1, you find some external goal you think will make you happy. 2, you get it, and you feel that temporary buzz. 3, you adapt. It becomes normal, and the buzz is gone. And 4, you're back at step 1, looking for an even bigger goal, because you're sure this time will be different. It's a perfect trap.
Okay, so if the external chase is a trap, how in the world do we get out? Well, the answer requires a pretty radical shift in our direction. Not outward, but inward.
You see, the real, lasting solution isn't about running faster on that treadmill. It's about realizing you can simply step off. This means a complete 180, a conscious decision to turn away from that external chase altogether.
So what does this journey actually look like? Well, you can think of it as a 3-step process. First, you just consciously decide to abandon the external chase. Second, you start to quiet all that external noise. The social pressures, the expectations, the constant comparisons. And third, in that new quiet space, you start to actually listen to your own inner wisdom. And look, this isn't just some abstract wishful thinking. There are practical, real-world tools for this inward turn. The keys are things like mindfulness practices and taking the time for some deep, honest reflection. So where does this inward journey ultimately lead? Well, it leads to a pretty profound discovery that you might already have the very thing you've been looking for this whole time. Okay, here's the big realization this path leads to. The fulfillment, the joy, the significance that you've been so desperately chasing, it is not some prize to be won out there in the world. It is a state to be uncovered right here inside of you. It's not something you need to go out and acquire. It's something you simply need to access. It has been there all along. The source material gives this inherent state a name. Being, consciousness, bliss. I know, it's a bit of a mouthful, but just think of it as the true, unconditional nature of your core self. A self that is already complete, joyful, and significant, long before any external achievement ever enters the picture. So this whole thing really boils down to a complete shift in perspective. Instead of seeing happiness as a prize you win, it becomes a state you can cultivate. Instead of significance being something others give you, you realize it's your birthright. And fulfillment stops being something you have to find out there and becomes something you just uncover within. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. What if this entire frantic search is just based on a huge misunderstanding? What if happiness isn't something you have to go out and find at all, but instead it's something you simply have to remember is already within you?